Howdy, Editor James here. Before this video starts, just want to remind you, join the Discord, link in description, and then you can tell me what to upload. Goodbye. What is going on today, guys? Welcome back to a new video. Hope everyone's day is going alright. Today we're going to be going over how to drift in Forza Horizon 4. So, drifting in this game is it's quite a necessary skill, and it teaches you a lot of car control. So yeah, we're just going to hop straight into it. Stay till the end to get the full experience, I'll say. Alright, so when picking a car to drift in, I'd say Nissan is a pretty good make to go with. I should be making a drift builds video soon on my channel, so subscribe to not miss out on that one when it gets uploaded. So I have a couple. I've got the 370Z. I've got quite a few of these. There's also the Fair Lady Z, and just pretty much most of them are decent to drift. Like this 240SX SE, yeah. It doesn't look like a good car, but it can be transformed into this, which is a pretty good drift car. So there's those, and then my personal favourites are the Formula Drift cars, just because they're done perfectly. But obviously not everyone wants to be buying those expansion packs, so I've made a couple. The RX-7, that's a pretty good one. You also kind of want to look out for them being all-wheel drive. I'd say is the best. The Unicorn Mustang here, these are really good all-wheel drive. They've got a ton of horsepower. Yeah, 1,400 horsepower, and that's just sort of stock, I think. Yeah, and on this one I've got my the Don Joe Song Gymkhana tune on it. You can also get the the Ford Focus. That's also pretty good. And just look out for some drift builds on YouTube as well. These Formula Drift cars are pretty much amazing as they are stock, so they're pretty good. And then you can also have some fun with I think there's this Mustang RTR in the Horizon backstage, so you can go get that if you grind out the festival playlist. There's also a couple BMWs you can do. This one's rear wheel drive. I've got quite a few BMW drift builds. This is one of my favourite drift cars. I mean, it's 1931 supercharged Bentley, but I actually did a video on my channel a while ago drifting that, so go check that out if you haven't already. And yeah, that's pretty much it for drift cars, but just basically the main points. Watch out for the down in the bottom left there, you'll see it says rear wheel drive on this one. You kind of want it to be all wheel drive to get started, because rear wheel drives you spin out a lot easier. So yeah, just look out for that. And yeah, so I think to start off with, I'm gonna get in the Unicorn, and I'll see you then. Right, so the Unicorn, you can actually drift it stock. I've got the the Gymkhana V3 from Don Joe Song, so that's usually at the start of the find new tunes. So, but here's the share code for anyone if it's not there. So now that you've got that sorted, now to find an area to go drift. Alright, so it is raining right now, but in the Unicorn it doesn't really matter. So I think before we actually get into any drifting, you probably want to know what settings I'm using to actually get to go drifting. So let's find that. Okay, so settings wise, you want to come to obviously just normal settings, and then you go to difficulty settings, if I can speak properly. So you want to have ABS on, you want to have steering as normal, traction control off, stability control off, shifting manual. You can do it with manual as clutch. If you do it with automatic, that also works, but manual is the easiest once you get used to it, because obviously it gives you more control over the car. And then these are all personal preference. So now you got that sorted, that's the only real settings you want to do. And then, yeah, now we're going to go into a drift. So you're going to come along this sort of donut area around the festival playlist. Should just be right down here. So this, you want to come to this central circle. You just sort of want to drive around it and push a bit of throttle, then get off the throttle and catch the car back round. So right now I'm going to steer to the left a bit and down on the throttle, then off of it, and then steer to the right to catch the car back round. So if you carry on with the throttle and steering left, that's just going to happen, and you're just going to do that. So you want to practice doing that a couple of times, and just sort of driving around, applying about 2 seconds of throttle, and then catching it. And then once you've done that a couple of times and you're comfortable with that, you can come around and try and learn to sort of keep tapping the throttle and catching it a bit, and just getting that back end out and keeping it out using the throttle. If you start going out to the side like this, you can tap the e-brake, which will swing the back end out a lot. So if I just do the e-brake there. But it's all about taking control, and once, I mean, if you've got the vibrations on your controller and stuff like that, it really helps to get a feel for the car. And yeah, so it's just sort of learning to feel your car and get used to how it feels and how it controls under certain movements. So if I start going into the side here like that, I'm going to want to steer right, and if I start going out of the drift like that, I want to steer left. And you just sort of want to keep tapping. It's easier on controller because you keep tapping side to side as quick as you need. On wheel, however, it's not the easiest because you actually got to physically move the wheel. So then once you've done that and you feel comfortable with that, you're going to want to come up here. Now you want to come in slowly and push the e-brake very slightly and keep powering through the turn. And when you come out of the drift, it's easiest just to push the e-brake like that for a couple of seconds just to get the back end round again. Right, so now you're going to come and do this drift zone at the circle in this festival a couple of times. Maybe shift up to gear 2, tap the e-brake to get into it, and just power and counter steer, and just make sure you're sort of getting used to your car and having a feel for the e-brake, because this is all about really feeling what gears work for you and when to actually press the e-brake and how much steering you need to put in. Just like that. That I'm not even steering, and I'm just sort of powering down through the turn. And now I think we're going to go over to the try and head over to the live event, and we're just sort of going to, what's it called? We're just going to drift over there, and I'm going to talk through what I'm actually doing. Okay guys, so the other guy wasn't really helping in the Forza live event, so I just decided to leave because yeah, there was no point in really doing it. But now in this part of the video I'm going to go over my top couple of locations that I recommend you learn to drift in, because they're pretty good for learning. So let's just get into it. Right, so the first one here is the rail yard. You'll see it just down here by the Lego Speed Champions, and there's a playground games here. This is great for just open drifting, and there's this road event out here. If you go into that and you go solo and then custom events, usually in like the trending, might not be in like trending today, maybe best of the month, but usually there's a Gymkhana one, because Donjo on Song did make a Gymkhana race for this place, but I don't think it's here anymore. There's one. This is one of my favourites, so that's the share code if anyone wants it. This is basically just a race around the train yards with like no well, there is AI cars, but they won't catch up to you, so they won't muck you around. And yeah, so if you've been here before, you'll know it's literally just this open area, and you can try and like plan routes around it, sort of thing. There's also this place up here, which is pretty good for learning to sort of precision drifting. So you sort of just come around this top bit like this. And don't do that. And then it's a bit hard to see because it's dark, but and just round like that. I'll try and get a good lap in. Usually without all these bright lights everywhere and the shadows, it's a lot easier, but yeah, you can also get some like over the edge clips if you want here, because obviously with the windows, and yeah, don't fall off. So that's location number 1. Now we'll get to number 2. Okay, so location number 2 is just here at the top of the festival, about the north side. So you just want to come to round here on the minimap, and I'll show you the route. So this is a pretty good sort of area to learn to drift, because you got this first turn into it. You've also got this drift zone, and this is the most sort of snaky mountain Tokyo drift looking road you can actually get on the main islands. There is one like this in Fortune Island, but obviously it's a lot longer there, and you have to pay to get it. So there's this drift zone, but if you carry on drifting after the drift zone, you can come up here, and you've got the snake sort of needle turn down the mountain or hillside. So this one's good for sort of U-turn, sort of shaped donuts you'll see on the minimap. This one really teaches you as well to rock side to side and not to go in too fast, because otherwise you're going to smash straight off the road. And it's a speed zone as well, so that helps if there's any traffic coming. You can just go straight through them because it's a speed zone, and you can just go up and down that and practice. Right, area number 3, literally just anywhere in Edinburgh. Edinburgh is so good for just sort of right angle turns and that, and a variety of sort of turns as well. So if you come here along this sort of main middle stretch of road, there's you just go up here into these sort of, it's a bit like a grid of roads, and you can just drift around them. And yeah, I highly recommend coming here and checking this out. This, if you follow my Instagram, you would have seen this is, I actually got my first sort of 360 entry clip here. Yeah, watch out for the invisible clips on the side of the buildings. Apparently they're a thing. You've also got these massive circles, which you can also learn, a bit like the donut circle at the festival playlist, just these ones are a lot bigger and require a bit more skill. Alright, so in space number 4 we have literally any roundabout in the along the motorway. These literally, there's one here, there's one up here, and then there's another one at the south side here. I'm pretty sure they all vary in size. The one at the south side is a lot smaller, whereas these two are pretty big. You can also use these for sort of going up here, doing one of these, and then yeah, or you can just come straight along this road and get into a nice little drift along here, like this. that was pretty clean. So yeah, these are pretty good, and yeah. Alright, space number 5, last but not least. You probably knew this one was coming. It is obviously the Festival Drift Zone, Drift Donut Zone thing. This you can also lead round here as well, which is pretty good. You can come around here, and there's a full sort of lap of the festival, which I do most of the time. Nice couple of sort of snaky little turns. Yeah. Alright, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it and it helped you. Also, comment down below if you've got any ideas of videos you want me to do. Although if you really want me to do them, join the Discord server, because any video suggested in that will be priority, and I will be doing those first. So I'll leave a link to that in the description, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.